Okay, so in the previous video there was some issue with some of the windows not showing up. I think I fixed some stuff, so now the window should show up. For example, this should be able to see this window right here. And other stuff, like when I click on it. Hopefully you can see this list inside the window. Anyways, I want to change some stuff that I did from last time, just so that we could make things a little more simpler, I guess. I'm going to move this event under the onPost collide because it only needs to occur when the player collides with surfaces. And also I'm going to get rid of these instance variables because I don't think we really need them that much. At least not in this example. So I'll just replace the instance variables with the values using the chipmunk behavior, I guess. Chipmunk dot contact depth time. Oh, we need a index. Then the player chipmunk dot contact normal x 0. So I'm just going to change this. Make this one a y. So now we don't need. Oh, we also have to change this as well. Okay, so now we don't need any of the instance variables that we created for that case. So let's go back into the instance variables and remove these since we don't need them anymore. We still need the on floor though. Oops. So one thing I want to do now is make it so that the player doesn't slide so much, and also so that when you start moving or release the key, it'll slow down quicker. So to do that, we need a walk speed. Let's go max walk speed and give it something like 30, I guess. Okay, so button right state is greater than 0. Add another condition. Compare two values. Player chipmunk. Velocity x is less than max walk speed, then it'll apply a force in that direction. So let's see what that does. So you can see when I press right, there's a limit to how fast it moves, whereas where I press left, it just gets faster. Okay, so let's do the same thing for the other one. Make it greater than negative walk speed. Okay, and let's see. When I release the keys, let's create another event below. Actually, create a blank sub event, and then we can just drag it down and paste that there. If left state equals 0, which means I'm not pressing the left button, and if the right state is 0, meaning I'm not pressing the right button, then it'll stop moving basically, but we don't want it to slide, so we'll set the friction to let's try 0.9, I guess. And I guess if we're pressing one of the walk keys, you want to set the friction. Let's try 0. I wonder what that'll be like. Okay, let's try that, see what it does. Okay. So as soon as you press it, it starts moving because I set the friction to 0. And when I release the key, it applies the friction, so it starts slowing down. Another thing we could do is when I turn around really quickly, it slides a bit because the friction stays at 0, so it's sliding, and you might not want that. You might want it to like move, or you might want it to turn more quickly than it does. So we could fix that. Okay, if right state is being pressed, velocity is less than that. Let's see, if the velocity is less than 0, meaning you're traveling left and then you press right, let's set the friction to 0.9. Else set the friction to 0. I just moved that down here instead of up there. So it'll check if it's less than 0, apply friction. If not, and we're starting to move to the right, then set the friction to 0. Let's do the same thing for the other direction. Let's see what it does. I think that, I don't know if it does it that much. Let's compare it to see how it looks before. I want to see how much of a difference it made. Seems alright. Also, let's apply friction if we're on the floor. Okay, so this will be our grappling hook. This will be the end of it. Oops. I need to add it to the family. Let's set it on a different layer. Let's give this that layer. So if it's each one is like a different layer, I guess. This will be like that. Okay, hopefully the player shouldn't collide. I don't want the player colliding with the grappling hook. So we need to figure out how to set that. 0, 0. Okay. 0, 0. This will be that. Okay. Okay, there we go. Okay, so the player doesn't collide with the grappling hook, but it collides with everything else. Basically, collision layers. This is the grappling hook, and it's set to be on this layer right here. And the tile map is on the same layer, plus it's also on the layer with the player. So if we go to players on this layer, and this other object's also on that layer. Let's add a event sheet, grappling hook, and include it. Actually, just do this. Button state 2 equals 1. Create object grappling hook, player.x, player.y. Apply impulse. Let's use an angle instead. Check which direction the player is facing. Oh, well, I guess we also need to set the direction the player is facing. Greater than 0, then set the angle to -45. Otherwise, set it to -135. The amount, let's try 100. Okay. Let's see what happens. It'll just do it in one direction because I haven't done the other direction yet. Okay, so it shoots that basically. Let's destroy the other one, the others, before we create a new one. I think it should destroy it. Yep. Oh yeah. Player pressing right, set the player mirrored, not mirrored. Pressing left, set the player mirrored. Okay, so now we could shoot in both directions. This direction and that direction. Okay. Now we need another object. Let's make this 2 by 2, I guess. Just do black. Set the origin point to the side like this on the edge, because we'll be stretching this. We also want to create another image point on the opposite side. So origin over here, an image point over there. And we'll call this the chord. Okay. We'll add it to the physics object as well. And collision shape, make it a segment. Put it on that group. Prevent rotation, no. On pre-step, meaning before anything gets simulated in the physics, we have to apply a negative gravity. We have to negate the gravity so that gravity doesn't pull the cord down. Is that right? Gravity. I guess that's right. Let's try that, see what that does. Oops, wrong layer. Or layout. Okay, it's just floating there. So that's good. I could hit it though, and it'll start moving. Oh, maybe it won't. Oh yeah, because it doesn't collide with the player. Set the angle towards the grappling hook. Set the width to the distance between them. Set position. Okay, the cord and the grappling hook, I think they're colliding with each other. So let's put these on their own collision group. So they won't collide with each other. There we go. See, now it's not moving around. So it's starting to look like a grappling hook, even though it doesn't work yet.